The Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum's capacity was 73,999 for NFL games during the 1978 season, and while 51,643 tickets were sold for the Pro Bowl game that concluded the NFL's 1978 season, only 38,333 fans turned out. Every player but one took a bus to the game. Appropriately, it was the NFC linebacker Thomas Hollywood Henderson, whose 68-yard interception return for a touchdown capped the Cowboys' 28-0 NFC Championship game win over the Rams at this very stadium. AFC starting quarterback Terry Bradshaw played in his first Pro Bowl game. A concussion sustained in Super Bowl X kept him from playing in the following Pro Bowl game to which he was named. In Week 15, he threw 3 touchdown passes and 240 yards on only 11 pass completions. Backup AFC quarterback Bob Greasy was named to his 8th Pro Bowl game. Legally blind in his right eye, he began wearing glasses during games in 1977. This Week 7 touchdown pass to Nat Moore was the difference in a 28-21 win. Roger Staubach was the NFC starting quarterback, and he was named to his 5th Pro Bowl game at age 36. He threw 3 touchdown passes in this Week 7 overtime win, 24-21. He also made a Pro Bowl player out of number 80, Tony Hill, a second-year wide receiver. Archie Manning was the NFC's backup quarterback, and he was the first Saints player named to the Pro Bowl since the 1969 game. In Week 7, Manning played the entire game, completed 2 of 4 passes for 31 yards, yet led the Saints to a 14-7 win. Offensive Rookie of the Year and NFL rushing leader Earl Campbell got things started with this fine run. The Steelers had defeated the Cowboys 35-31 just 8 days earlier, and perhaps there was a Super Bowl hangover, as Steelers wide receiver Lynn Swann dropped a very catchable ball. When the NFC got the ball, Staubach handed it to Cowboys teammate Tony Dorsett and let him do his thing. Staubach hung in there despite heavy pressure, and the NFC caught a break when Tom Darden was called for pass interference against Ahmad Rashad. However, the drive stalled, and the AFC gained possession of the ball. Besides Earl Campbell, the AFC had 6'3", 230-pound bruiser Sam Cunningham in their offensive backfield. On 4th down and 1 yard to go on the NFC's 24-yard line, Thomas Henderson psyched up the NFC's defense that stopped Earl Campbell cold. Defensive tackle Doug English had an admirable 7 regular season sacks, and he nabbed Bradshaw here. English played in his first of 4 Pro Bowl games. While the AFC recovered the fumble, they ended up returning possession of the ball to the NFC and their swashbuckling quarterback Roger Staubach, who was corralled by Lyle Alzado. The AFC stopped the NFC's offense, then Terry Bradshaw connected with teammate Lynn Swann. From 1978 through 1982, the highest-ranked divisional champions head coach that lost in the divisional playoff round was chosen to become their respective conference's head coach in the Pro Bowl game. The Vikings' Bud Grant was the NFC's head coach for this game, while the Patriots' Chuck Fairbanks was the AFC's. Fairbanks agreed to become the University of Colorado's head coach near the end of the 1978 regular season. The Patriots sued him for breach of contract and won an injunction that prevented him from leaving. However, on April 2, 1979, a group of University of Colorado boosters bought out his Patriots contract and made it possible for him to leave. The 1979 Pro Bowl game was the first one in which players sported their respective team helmets, and it was also the last one to be played on a Monday. Who wants to work on a Monday anyway? Winners of this Pro Bowl game received $5,000, while losers received $2,500, which is tip money for today's players. The first quarter was scoreless, and Archie Manning took over at quarterback for the NFC. Rookie wide receiver James Lofton dropped this easily catchable pass. He made 7 more Pro Bowl teams in his Hall of Fame career. The NFC tried a run with Wilbert Montgomery, but he was eaten up by Louis Kelcher, who was listed humorously at 282 pounds. At 6'5", he needed to be accurately weighed on a dump truck scale. Bob Greasy threw a quick out pattern to John Jefferson, who was driven hard out of bounds by Willie Buchanan. On April 26, Buchanan was traded to the Chargers and became Jefferson's teammate. Greasy had plenty of time to throw here as he hit Jefferson again, this time for a nice gainer. Jefferson made second-team All-Pro and finished in second place to Earl Campbell in the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year award vote. Second-year defensive end Ezra Johnson of the Packers sacked Greasy and brought up a 4th down. Garo Yepremian was woefully short on this field goal attempt. On August 27th, he was released by the Dolphins, and on September 13th, he was signed by the Saints and scored 75 points in 1979. On this series of downs, Manning engineered a scoring drive. Wilbert Montgomery had a sparkling run. Check out tight end David Hill's super one-handed grab. Here's why Archie Manning was recognized as the NFC's best scrambling quarterback. Manning tested 1975 Defensive Player of the Year Mel Blount, but the cornerback, thankfully, for the NFC, intercepted the ball out of bounds. The NFC broke the ice when Wilbert Montgomery broke the plane of the goal line. The extra point attempt was no good. Montgomery's 1,220 rushing yards were the 5th most in the NFL in just his second season. In Week 7, he ran 25 times for 125 yards, and his 12-yard touchdown run in the 4th quarter won the game for the Eagles, 17-10. In the second quarter, Bob Greasy and wide receiver Steve Largent hooked up 5 times for 75 yards. Largent caught passes on a variety of pass patterns. His 8-yard touchdown catch and the subsequent successful point-after try gave the AFC a 7-6 lead. Largent had the 3rd most receptions in the NFL in 1978 for the 2nd most yards. In Week 7, he caught 8 passes for 127 yards in this 48-yard touchdown. He was the key reason for the Seahawks' 9-win and 7-loss season in only their 3rd year of existence. With less than 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter, Greasy's short pass to Franco Harris resulted in a 1st down. Even though Greasy and Largent connected again, the drive stalled, and it was 7-6 AFC at halftime. Los Angeles Rams cheerleaders would cheer at the Memorial Coliseum for the 1979 season, then change their venue to Anaheim Stadium for the 1980 season. Terry Bradshaw threw to tight end Dave Casper early in the 3rd quarter, and first-time Pro Bowl middle linebacker Harry Carson put the clamp on him. Carson nicknamed himself the Black Bill Berge. Earl Campbell rushed for a game-high 12 times and led all rushers with 66 rushing yards. Bradshaw missed his mark when he failed to hit a streaking Wesley Walker, who had beaten Pat Thomas and Cliff Harris. No, this isn't Earl Campbell, it's Sam Bam Cunningham. Same running style, though. Bradshaw tried to hook up with Walker again, but with the same result as before. Facing serious NFC heat from their front 4, Bradshaw took off. His fumble was recovered by Pat Thomas, who received a love tap from Earl Campbell. NFC head coach Bud Grant was intent on getting superstar running back Walter Payton into the mix, so the NFC did. A first down was picked up with this flare pass to Tony Dorsett. However, Dorsett was shut down by the hulking Lyle Alzado, who made his second Pro Bowl appearance. Still trailing 7-6 in the third quarter, Staubach completed the longest pass in this game, which was good for 30 yards. A replay shows that Ahmad Rashad craftily beat double coverage. Quarterback Mike Haynes skillfully cut in front of Rashad just short of the goal line. Haynes was the NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Year in 1976, and in all 3 seasons he made the Pro Bowl and All-Pro second teams. Terry Bradshaw's accuracy was lacking in this game as he threw into double coverage and received a break when Cliff Harris dropped an easy one. Here's yet another ill-advised throw by Bradshaw. Hollywood Henderson ended up wiping out the back judge. Ezra Johnson again beat left tackle Leon Gray and put some serious heat on Bradshaw. Bill Berge pounced onto Sam Cunningham and blew up the play. From 1974 through 1978, Berge made first or second team All-Pro 5 times. The NFC took advantage of a 16-yard shanked punt by Ray Guy when Staubach teamed up with Ahmad Rashad for a 15-yard gain. Louis Wright and Randy Gradishar combined for the tackle. Wilbert Montgomery's off-right guard run for 6 yards set up a touchdown. Zone defenses were prohibited by Pro Bowl game rules when the ball was inside the 20-yard lines, and Roger Staubach took advantage by passing to Tony Hill for a 19-yard touchdown. Hill thrilled Cowboy fans in Week 6 when he caught 7 passes for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns that included this 30-yarder. Now in the fourth quarter, Earl Campbell caught a case of Butterfingers, but he maintained possession of the ball. On the very next play, the 1978 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and First Team All-Pro blasted for good yardage. Dave Pear demonstrated his somersault sack. He had 9 regular season sacks as the Buccaneers' nose tackle. On April 30th, he was traded to the Raiders for 1979 second and third round draft picks. With the AFC down 13-7 late in the fourth quarter, Cody Jones hammered Greasy. They used to play all out back in the day with these Pro Bowl games. Cody Jones is an answer to a trivia question. Which player took over left defensive tackle for Merlin Olsen? The Hall of Famer, whose 14 Pro Bowl games was a record for the most. Ray Guy was a 6-year NFL veteran and a veteran of 6 Pro Bowl games. In 3 of those years, he led the NFL in average yards per punt. Rookie Tony Green had an 80-yard punt return for a touchdown, along with a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown when he took off down the sideline for a solid return. Archie Manning dropped back 10 yards and completed a 12-yard pass to Ahmad Rashad, who was named the game's MVP with game-high catches and receiving yards of 5 and 89 respectively. He was playing in his first of 4 straight Pro Bowl games. Terrific blocking sprung Wilbert Montgomery for 16 yards. Special recognition was given to left guard Tom Mack, who was playing in his last game. He made 11 Pro Bowl teams, and from 1967 through 1978, this Hall of Famer started 168 of 170 regular season games. Number 77 is Lyle Alzado, who is developing quite a reputation as an intense competitor. Who said that Lyle Alzado wasn't a nice guy? Archie Manning sat on the ball near the goal line as to not rub it in. Number 51 is Robert Brazil, who pushed number 34 Walter Payton as a form of playful mischief, as they were both college teammates at Jackson State.